fucking square.
Eventually bring back Peter Molyneux to talk about how he's going to have dogs that grow extra fur every
Plant,
day.
plant an acorn and grow into a tree. And,
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to, well, it's the first podcast of 2022. We've had about a month off Christmas, the dead period of January. Well, it was dead until one thing happened, which is pretty much the discussion of today. I mean, whoever knew that God of War was going to release on the PC?
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah. So the usual three. I'm Chris, and you know me by now. You all whine at me on the comments because it's fun. We've got Francesco
Hello.
and Alessio.
Yo.
Still not showing his face after 5 years or 6 or however many.
Yeah. Well, the podcast hasn't gone on that long. Come on. It's not. That's not true.
I just mean the site.
You have it on the website. There is my face. You
Yeah.
can-
It could be a body double.
Yeah.
Like I am Brad Pitt's body double.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the one topic, everybody knows what it's going to be. It's going to be Microsoft and the ever rapid condensing of the games condensing of the games industry.
Yeah.
Condensation. What the bloody am I talking about? Is it getting wet? Oh god. Yeah, the condensing of the games industry. Everybody's buying every fucker else. 70. Well,
It's actually Microsoft that's buying everyone else
Yeah.
at this point.
yeah.
I
So,
mean,
go
I
on.
guess. No, just wanted to say, I guess there are three really big companies that are the most active, which, Microsoft, then there's obviously Tencent, and, on a slightly smaller level, but also Embracer. I guess those three are the biggest, companies that are active in the M&A area. And although, of course, we also have the Take-Two and Zynga deal.
Yeah.
Which
True.
basically this year started with a bang because just with these two deals it almost surpassed every other deal made the last year, so
Did it not? I would be surprised if it. Surely it did, because, well, the one deal Microsoft agreeing to acquire Activision is 68 point whatever billion, and then Zynga, how much was that? Over $1 billion?
it was 10 billion and
10?
12.
Bloody hell! Why
Yeah.
doesn't? Okay, so yeah, I'm fairly sure it's now just January alone has surpassed. I would probably guess the past decade of deals in actual monetary value.
Actually it was last year it was 85 billion.
Was it?
So it yeah.
I can't even
Which
think
was-
of that many were acquired.
Yeah, there were quite a few acquisitions. Embracer, as I said, Tencent mostly, and other deals. Codemasters was acquired by EA.
Yeah,
as
that
you
was $1
remember.
billion and such. But I'm just thinking, because I know Embracer, their deals are usually a couple $100 million. Codemasters just over $1 billion, or 1.2 or something. I just sort of thinking it would take about 100 deals last year just to match these two, and we're only just getting started.
And it's only January. There's still a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, 68 billion for Activision. Is it a
and
good deal?
it's also in cash apparently. So it's there are no shares or anything like that involved. It's just cash, which of course Microsoft has a lot of on hand.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they just take a loan out and they can get whatever they need as well. Cash makes sense because well, let's be honest. If they offer shares, Bobby Kotick would then get a share, and you don't want him involved in anything anymore.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I guess we can start there. I mean, it's the big question when this dropped, other than just a surprise, because of course Microsoft already made the news with Bethesda, and that already seemed huge, but this is 10 times bigger, so it was a huge shock. And actually, at that size, it's like the biggest acquisition, overall in the US for the last couple of years. So it's just huge in general, not just for gaming. It's incredibly big, and of course, as you said, past the shock of the size of the deal, there's also the question whether Bobby Kotick will stay or not. And of course, the announcement said that once the deal is closed, everyone will report to Phil Spencer, who is now the head of Microsoft Gaming. And that alone already kind of hinted that Kotick might depart. And later on, there were rumors from Bloomberg that this is actually the case. So we might, get rid of him.
I don't think it's even a question. You can't. I think that's one of the reasons why Microsoft are bought, because Activision have taken a big hit, and it makes the most sense for investors because the list of scandals for current Activision are far from over. I think there's got to be more coming. It's just them coming out in the open. So Microsoft getting in now, they're going shit for Activision. And Bobby Kotick thinks that the share price drop wasn't due to the fact that he's allowed rape, murder threats, abuse, and everything else, and actively participated in certain things. He blames the delay of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 for the share hit, which sadly is probably right, actually. But no, Microsoft getting in now while they can, and with games being delayed, I doubt there's any deals in place for the future titles. Yeah, it means that Microsoft are going to be getting Diablo 4 exclusively if they want it, Overwatch 2 if they want it exclusive, every future Call of Duty. Activision don't actually make any other games, so them three.
Let's just start one item by one. I'd say let's stick with Kotick, because
He's gone. He's gone. That's it. He's gone.
oh yeah, absolutely. But the interesting thing is that according to various sources, he wasn't really that interested at first. So basically, as you said, all of these scandals created a window of opportunity for Microsoft. So late last year, they reached out, and Kotick wasn't that interested at first, but eventually he kind of saw that the ground around him was kind of loosening a bit. It was shaking, so even the other colleagues on the board of directors at Activision Blizzard weren't supporting him, anymore as they did in the past. And basically, the rumor is that he was kind of, looking for other companies to acquire Activision Blizzard. He kind of went to Facebook or Meta, how it's called nowadays, but they didn't buy, the deal. And basically, Microsoft, was the only one willing to do this, and Kotick had to kind of resign himself, and eventually, apparently, agreed, because this kind of allows him to have a graceful exit, so to speak. So,
I think the graceful part of it's all done. I do think Kotick probably did want to stop around. He'll have seen it sinking around him, but wherever he's in the position he was what's he going to get? A couple $100 million payoff, which, yeah, what? That's enough for anybody to live the rest of their lives in complete and utter blissful luxury. But he's greedy, and he just wanted to be getting 50 million, 100 million every single year. Now, he was probably thinking, with the bonuses I can get in 5 years, I'd earn more than this one payoff.
Mhm.
So I think that's why he wanted to stick around. But again, once he gets ousted as CEO, which he's not the majority shareholder, so he can get ousted. Yeah, it was cost benefit analysis for him. That's all he thought about, cost benefit, and he saw that chances are, yeah, the payoff from the deal's the best thing.
Yeah, I think this is really kind of the best case scenario for almost everyone involved, because Microsoft is getting Activision Blizzard. Well, I don't say it's perhaps it's not a great deal, but it's still kind of a deal for Microsoft in that last year the shares of the company hit 100 apiece. So they're buying it at 95 now. So it's while it is a bit higher than the price market nowadays, it's still not as high as the company went lately, and not certainly not as high as it can be. So it's kind of good for Microsoft, and also they were looking for bolstering their position, not so much against Sony and Nintendo, but especially against the likes of Amazon, Google, the other tech giants who might be looking to enter more heavily into the gaming space. And also Bobby Kotick gets to go out of the company with a big paycheck and not too much fuss. And also the shareholders, the board of directors doesn't have to explicitly kick him. So basically it's a win-win for everyone. So I'd say that's why it's so.
I was thinking how Kotick is coming out even worse than before because of this. When I read he was trying to buy a gaming publication so that they could get free positive PR. I mean, that's how rich people try to deal with problems. So it's not really surprising, but that made me laugh because he was really trying. He really was trying everything to stay, let's say, stay afloat, even though it's not really staying afloat in his case with all the money he has, but. That was funny, trying to spin things in a way that even though I think it would have been impossible to
I think he
spin
was
things possibly. It's really impossible with everything.
He was just trying to buy two to stop them talking about him, wasn't it? Not so.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Was it now? Was it I can't remember. Was it PC Gamer and someone else?
Yeah, PC Gamer and Kotaku, I think.
Yeah.
They wanted to buy those.
Why didn't he offer me a couple of million to shut up? I'd have done that.
Grace is a sellout. Grace is a sellout.
No, I wouldn't say anything nice about him. I'd just shut up. Pay me. In fact, you don't even have to pay me a couple of million. Just give me $500,000. I'll shut up about you.
He has the money, so you better step up the price. He has a lot of money anyway.
Yeah, it's chump change for him, so he'll not think twice.
Yeah. So. Every time that man opens up his mouth, he just becomes worse.
Yeah.
Really, there's no end to his.
Yeah, but to his credit, as also Chris mentioned in the past, I mean, the man bought the company for $400K 30 years ago, and now it's being sold for $70 billion.
Yeah,
so
it's not really him who's done it. He started with that, and he got it started, but getting the people he hired did it for him. He hired a lot of people from the toys industry, literally physical toys, and he essentially made Activision into as much of a processing like they would a toy market. And well, we saw that as well when they started doing the toys to life sort of thing and all that. But yeah, once you got games like Call of Duty, and the problem is, unlike toys, where kids do want the same one over and over again, with the games, they eventually you do meet saturation, and he's killed so many genres. Well, so many. He's killed the music genre.
Yeah, Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, yeah, he murdered that by having them release about three games a year. It's absurd.
Yeah.
He killed the toys to life with so many different Spyro, Skylanders games.
Skylanders.
So that's two genres that maybe not him personally, but his company, and the people he's aligned himself with have killed genres, and they've never actually created anything. That's the way I always look at it. They certainly repopularized first-person shooters with Call of Duty Modern Warfare when 4 came out. But again, they managed to kill that to an extent.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just that constant farming of the same things over and over again. It's not good. It does eventually damage a company, and it has they're making profits.
Yeah.
They're still making what $2 billion profit a year. So they're obviously
Yeah.
successful, but for anybody with a critical mind, you can see the cracks.
Well, interestingly, because there are so many facets to this deal. Something else that came to light, which is not so much related to the deal, but still, it's relevant to what you were saying. Call of Duty might actually not keep the yearly schedule for much longer. It seems, because they already discussed this. Apparently, lots of Call of Duty developers at high level discuss the opportunity to make it rest, not release every year, to give it more time to innovate. And also, they think apparently this will appease players. After all, they still have Warzone, so they can still release DLC and stuff, but it doesn't have to be a new game every year. So, of course, this doesn't affect this year's release, which will still come out, of course.
It won't affect this year's or next year's release, because the deal's not even going to be finalized till 2023. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we may not be far from the day where we don't have a new Call of Duty.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it, maybe not always annual. Like, I mean, Activision kept it annual by having 3 different studios. Well, eventually 4 now. 4 different studios making core games, and then supported by about half a dozen other studios. I think Microsoft will probably keep. Well, if I were Microsoft, I would keep Infinity Ward and Treyarch on Call of Duty, and have a Call of Duty released every 2 years. Infinity Ward release one, and then they've got 4 years to make the next one. Treyarch release one 2 years after, and just stagger it like that. It also gives the game more time to breathe. It gives the players more time to play the online mode, and it keeps the community together. That's what I'd do.
Yeah,
and also gives other studios, chance to make so many other games, because Activision are sitting on an absolute treasure trove of IPs.
Yeah, the other thing is that Phil Spencer already mentioned this. He even, name picked a few titles like even Hexen, the old game.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he's interested in those IPs. So I'm very much hoping that we will see them revived, and also we might see developers like Toys for Bob once again working on their titles instead of being a Call of Duty support studio. And it also makes sense for Microsoft because they want to have a broad portfolio in Game Pass.
Yeah,
You know?
and I'm going to say it helps with the PC. I mean, Activision have been sat on Empire Earth, which is... you have the new Age of Empires studio making Empire Earth and Age of Empires. That's two strategy series they could have on the go. You've got other shooters. You've got Time Shift, which was a game. But for me, the games that I think what Microsoft really could benefit from, you've got the True Crime series. Microsoft could essentially make a GTA competitor if they wanted to, if they put enough money in, enough good people onto True Crime. You've got Tenchu. Now, what was it? It wasn't Sekiro meant to originally going to be a Tenchu game? And then obviously not. Imagine a return of Tenchu. Trying to think of other games. I mean, Prototype. I actually enjoyed Prototype. I still think, and the second one was profitable, so it still baffles me why Activision stopped with it. There's so many. There is so many that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just it baffles me when the fact that Activision have sat on so many of these IPs, which could really be not the biggest games ever. I suppose the ones with the potential, you've got your True Crime, maybe Gun if they wanted to turn that into a Red Dead clone. I don't know.
Yeah,
but there's also stuff from Blizzard that could be resurrected. I remember an old series, The Lost Vikings. As you know, it's become so popular now, Vikings and everywhere, that it could work even as a smaller title first. I think it would work. And Blizzard released them again, I think a couple of years ago, with that collection of their older games. So they have a lot of stuff they could work.
And also there is a little title called StarCraft Ghost, which was meant to be on consoles. It might happen. Who knows?
Well, they could try and redo another StarCraft sort of Ghost thing, or a new StarCraft third person, first person, whatever. But StarCraft Ghost as it was is dead, long dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I think it could be cool. I think StarCraft as an IP has lots of potential. I mean, sci-fi is very hot right now. So it's.
I think if I were Microsoft, I would be pushing certain things. I'd certainly be pushing True Crime. That's one franchise because it was good as well, I thought. And then we eventually got the spin-off that was Sleeping Dogs. I would be pushing Empire Earth just as another strategy to go alongside Age of Empires. So you've got a few, and again Tenchu. And I you know what? I wouldn't be surprised because Microsoft have only really got one racing franchise. They could bring back Blur. And then the only other thing I was thinking is King's Quest. Imagine that. They've got Fable. Fable come out 1 year. A few years later, King's Quest. A few years later, another Fable.
Yeah. So that's one of the other games that Spencer mentioned. King's Quest.
Eventually, bring back Peter Molyneux to talk about how he's going to have dogs that grow extra fur every day.
Plant an acorn and grow into a tree, and it's it's. No, but let's move on to one of the biggest parts of this deal. Are they going to make the games exclusive or not?
Yes.
They are. Maybe not all of them, though. I was just thinking that Call of Duty is going to be exclusive. There's no question about that, I think.
Well,
it's just too big. Yeah, it would be stupid not to, but I think maybe some other... I was thinking maybe the Blizzard stuff is not going to be exclusive. I don't see them... Overwatch 2, if it ever releases, I don't see it being an exclusive.
Yeah, they have
I
got
think
that
it makes
history.
more sense. Yeah, it makes more sense for competitive games to be available everywhere. But
Warzone, that'll never be exclusive because it makes
yeah,
no
that's
sense
true.
to. Yeah, Overwatch 2, I can't see that because there's still a big market to have it on the other format, on the
Yeah,
PlayStation.
they released that on Switch, so the
Well,
first one, I mean.
yeah, that was...
So yeah, I think the Blizzard stuff is not going to. If they make another StarCraft, for example, well, maybe in that case it's going to be a little more difficult with the controls. But
Yeah, it's PC
if
anyway,
they
isn't
were,
it? So
yeah, it's PC anyway. But it could work on Switch with touch controls if you really want to. If you really want to get it anywhere else.
Interesting. I think the way to figure out what will happen with games like StarCraft is just wait to see what they do with the latest Age of Empires. If they put that somewhere else, then they'll put StarCraft and Warcraft elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because they could make they could, with Blizzard getting free reign, Blizzard could actually become good again and make some, make Warcraft 4 or make StarCraft, whatever.
Yeah, the same. I don't see Diablo being exclusive.
I don't know.
I really don't see that. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I really don't see that.
So-
It makes more sense. I mean, I think Microsoft is pretty much interested. Play our stuff, no matter where you play it, just play it.
That links into what I'm thinking will eventually happen. I think they will just have Game Pass on everything. Microsoft are going for a content. If for me, the business sense would go for a content first approach, because you imagine they get Game Pass on the PlayStation, they get it on the Switch, which it'd be difficult on the Switch, but still, you'd have certain games can run. I don't know, it's a weird one, but and eventually when they get the stream, cloud working properly, you imagine it's on the console's a second. The console becomes a secondary thing because they've already got 25 million subscribers. Double that to 50, you could easily get to 100 million subscribers worldwide, each paying, take off the cut of different areas, each paying £7 a month. That's £700 million a month. Convert that to dollars, it's $1 billion a month. And I'm fairly sure that would be more than profitable enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, no, of course the centerpiece of everything here is Game Pass and Microsoft's drive to make it perhaps the new standard in gaming. And interestingly, even Netflix commented on this, and they said it's they took it kind of as an endorsement of the subscription model, which of course they have championed in the streaming cable streaming area. And so are we moving towards a subscription model centric model even for games, is the question.
Well, it's the content model, yeah, content and subscription, which, as long as you can still buy the game if you want, I suppose there's no issue. It's all about how it's all about if you the need of a console. It makes sense for Microsoft to. The thing is, people on average are only going to buy the one console. People can't afford to get two consoles or a console and a PC, or the average person can't. And it's not only that, it's a lifestyle choice because you spend that much money on something, you're missing out on other things as well. So I think it makes sense for them to go for the content first approach and try and get Game Pass on everything. Because even if someone buys a PlayStation, they can still afford to pay an extra £10, £12 a month to be able to access all the Microsoft exclusives there. It's just all about how much that Sony would want as a cut of it. Probably 30%, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe even more. Yeah,
if
they ever go with that.
Yeah, I don't
know. See for play. I think for Sony it would be a win-win to accept Game Pass.
I think it depends on how many games they're going to lose. I mean, Call of Duty is certain, so that's the first thing. But if they start losing more, then they will probably consider.
Well,
something like that.
I
As
don't
of
know.
now, it's too early. I mean,
Yeah, maybe I'm a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking too small here. But if I were Sony, I'd be going, yeah, Microsoft. Chuck Game Pass on here. We just take how much is the subscription per month on average?
I think it's €9. I think.
No.
Yeah, I think the regular Game Pass. Yes, I think Ultimate is 15, perhaps. It's a bit
Well,
more. Yeah.
I'm just thinking if Sony get 30% of each subscription on that, but it also incentivizes people to get the PlayStation over the Xbox if Game Pass is on the PlayStation because they can still access the Xbox games, but then they've got the Sony exclusives. So it's a win-win for Sony. If I were Sony, I'd be going, come on, get out here.
Yes, but you have to consider that people only have so much time to to play games,
Yeah,
and if they already have a huge library of Game Pass games that they have subscribed for. Are they going to pay 70 or 80 bucks
yeah.
for the new game? I don't know. They,
I don't know.
but to your points, I'm actually kind of reverse on the. I think Call of Duty is more likely to stay multi-platform while the other stuff will go exclusive, because I mean Phil Spencer already said that Call of Duty will stay on PlayStation. Of course, he could be simply referring to Warzone, but we are obviously talking about this deal as it's already done, but it's not. In that, of course, there will be regulatory scrutiny, and one of the things that may help Microsoft pass, all these obstacles from the FTC and the DOJ, is actually saying that Call of Duty will still be on other platforms, since it's so huge. So if they said that, if they convince the regulators that they are not going to take away a title this big from the competition, then it's way more likely for it to be approved.
Yeah, I do
Why?
think that they probably will have to sign something. I don't know. It's the competition laws in America are so crap anyway, so I don't think they'll actually give a damn. I honestly don't think the competition laws in America they care enough about. I don't think they would care enough about gaming. They'll still see it just as a hobby for people and just wave the deal through. Because the reality is, it's not a. The games aren't really a service that everybody needs. It's not like competing a mobile company, a telecoms firm where they buy the competitor and then there's only, they can just set the price what they want it. You can set the price for games anyway. People can choose to not buy a game, but everybody needs a phone and things like that. So I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. The competition laws may come into it, but I just don't think it's going to be that big of an issue.
The thing is that the Biden administration has been, increasingly stricter in general
Yeah.
on mergers and acquisitions. They're actually going to have a review of the merger guidelines, and so we'll see.
I certainly understand that. I just think it'll depend on the sector more than anything else. I just don't think they're going to. I think they'll care more about like your telecoms, your pharmaceuticals, and things like that than they ever will. What they
No, but
still likely see as a children's toy.
of course,
Yeah.
Microsoft said, it's a hugely competitive market, gaming. That
Yeah.
is, so it's hard to see this as a monopoly. I mean, even after the deal, Microsoft will still be the third largest company in gaming revenue after Tencent and Sony. So it's obviously not a monopoly kind of situation, but
No.
it will be interesting to see because, well, anyway, early rumors are saying some games will be exclusives,
Yeah.
some will not. So we'll have to just wait and see which ones. But the certain thing is that even in the announcement, Microsoft said we'll basically take all of the Activision Blizzard games that we can and put them on Game Pass. So that's even if Call of Duty stays on PlayStation, the fact that you can get it, virtually for free. I mean, included with the subscription on PC and Xbox and cloud, it's already huge by itself. So
Yeah.
we'll see. It's certainly interesting times ahead, and we may have to wait a while because, of course, there are contractual agreements still.
Yeah. Well, the deal's not even going to be done until mid 2023, so yeah, we'll not.
Yeah.
It's far too far away to know.
For example, Sony already kind of said that they expect Microsoft to honor, existing deals. For example, they might have marketing deals with Activision about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So they might still have contracts for that for a while. So.
It's a long one. And chances are next week we'll be talking about somebody else getting bought.
Probably. That's very likely.
Yeah, and actually, I mentioned earlier that Netflix is, of course, entering this space, and they have said that they want to give their users the best experience, even in this category.
We'll have to have a look at them in more detail soon.
If they want to do that, they definitely have to buy some companies, because right now they only have one, Night School Studio, and they can build studios, but it will take a long time. Really the easiest thing to do is to buy some companies. So I expect them to be active in this area in the next couple of years.
Yeah. All I would I'm going to say Netflix games, because you can go look at it on the mobile. I don't think I've looked at it on the PC yet, and it's all just simple. Well, that I've seen simple games so far, so we'll see. But I think that'll. That's the topic for today anyway.
Any other thoughts?
No, we pretty much said everything. I think one thing that will be interesting is how Sony will respond to this, because they will have to respond in some way. And it will be interesting to see if the rumor of their own subscription service is true, and how it will work, and where it will be available, on which platforms it will be available, and how they're going to go with PC gaming from now on. Because on PC they can go head to head with Microsoft on PC.
I'm just thinking that should be the topic for next week. How will Sony respond?
Okay.
We could probably talk a lot about that.
Yeah, maybe they will announce that next week. They have to respond.
Let's set it now. The next week's topic: how will Sony respond?
They will have to. There's no way they can continue staying silent.
They lost kind of 20 billion in market value in a day, the following day.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah, we'll have a look at it. But well, let's wrap it up. So, what's everybody playing?
I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise for quite some time. I have already 70 hours in it.
I'm sure you've been playing that.
It's like for Yakuza. I didn't understand Monster Hunter. I couldn't really understand it. Then I talked with a friend who used to play the PSP games, and he just told me, play it like a fighting game. Yeah. Then I understood Monster Hunter, and now I am really enjoying it so much that I'm going to get Monster Hunter World, and then I'm going to work my way back.
Fair play.
I feel like I've missed a lot, so thank you, Monster Hunter Rise. Thank you.
Fair enough. How about you, Alessio?
As I've said earlier, we are back to Elder Scrolls Online, so with the guild we are playing there. But beyond that, I've played a bit of Rainbow Six Extraction, the new one, and like you said, it's pretty good. I think it's it's very different from the regular PvE zombie shooter, alien shooter thing.
Yeah.
So it's slower, more tactical. It's also nice that every hit you take actually matters because your operator will stay injured potentially. So you have to swap between operators. It is pretty good. Of course, it's not exceptional right now, but as we both know, neither was Siege at launch. So it's
I say Ubisoft have always been good at supporting. Well, always they're good at supporting their longer games.
so yeah, we have to see how it's supported. But I think, and also this is also a day one Game Pass release, and something else that comes to mind regarding the Microsoft deal is that the more content they buy, and the less they have to rely with third party deals. Which are more expensive in the long run, perhaps.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
And for myself, I've really been playing a great deal. And I'll have a preview of Total War Warhammer 3 out before this goes live. And then I'm going to be playing. I don't know how much I can talk about, so I don't know. I am not playing anything, we'll say. Nothing I can talk about.
Well, something that's coming in the near future. You can say that.
Yeah. That's about all I'll say. But yeah, that'll do for me. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one topic. It's big enough for any day. So yeah. I mean, Microsoft are buying the world, and they've still not thrown any money at me.
It's a brand new world.
Yeah. And on that note, come on, Microsoft, throw me some money. Let me retire. But yeah. And on that, I think that'll be enough for today, and we'll all retire to something. See you all
on the same island. On the same island of Bobby Kotick.
God.
Okay.
No, please.
I'd probably kill him. Right. I'll see you all in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.